The shooter who killed 6 people at a school in Nashville, Tennessee on Monday brought 7 guns legally and hid them at home, police say. Investigators say the suspect's parents felt the 28-year-old should not own weapons and did not realize the guns had been concealed in their house. 6 people, including 3 children aged 9, were killed in the attack at the Covenant School. The suspect was under doctor's care for an emotional disorder, police say. Tennessee has no laws that allow police to seize guns from violent suspects. Despite the absence of such so-called red flag laws, police said they would still have sought to have the weapons confiscated if authorities had had any warning that the suspect could have posed a threat. The pupils killed in the attack were Evelyn Dickhouse, Hallie Scruggs, and William Kenny. 3 adult employees at the private-run Christian school also died. Cynthia Peck, 61, Catherine Coons, 60, and Mike Hill, 61. Police have spoken to the parents of the suspect, Audrey Hall, who was killed by police less than 15 minutes after the attack began. Hallie, who identified as transgender and was a former student at the school, was armed with 3 guns, including a semi-automatic rifle. The attack took place after the killer conducted surveillance of the premises, drew maps, and wrote what police described as a manifesto. A police spokesperson said the attacker did not target any person in particular, but did target this school, this church building. Hallie's parents thought the suspect had owned only 1 gun, but that it had been sold. They believed the suspect should not own weapons, and were unaware the suspect had been hiding several weapons within the house, said Nashville Police Chief John Drake on Tuesday. The weapons were legally purchased from 5 shops around the city. The killer was under doctor's care, for an emotional disorder, Chief Drake said without providing further details. If there had been reports of suicidal or violent tendencies, he added, police would have sought to confiscate the guns. But as it stands, we had absolutely no idea who this person was or if the suspect even existed, he also mentioned. Police received the first call about the incident at 10:13 local time, 15:13 GMT on Monday. The suspect drove to the school in a Honda Fit and got into the building by firing through one of the doors, which were all locked. Video later released by Nashville police shows the shooter opening fire to shatter glass panes on the front doors, then wandering the school's deserted corridors, at one point walking past a room labeled Children's Ministry. In the CCTV footage, the suspect is wearing what appears to be a protective vest and carrying an assault-style rifle in one hand, with a second weapon visible hanging from the left hip. The suspect fired shots on the ground floor before moving to the building's second floor. As police cars arrived, the shooter fired on them from the second floor, striking on vehicle in the windscreen. Mr. Chief Drake said, "We believed there has been some training to have been able to shoot from a higher level." He said the suspect had stood away from the glass to avoid being an easy target for police. One officer was injured by broken glass. Police rushed inside and shot the suspect dead at 10:24. President Joe Biden on Tuesday called for Congress to pass new gun control legislation. As a nation, we owe these families more than our prayers, he also mentioned. We owe them action. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland was asked during a Senate hearing in Washington, D.C., whether the attack will be investigated as a hate crime targeting Christians. He said it was too early to say and that agents were still working to identify a motive. The attack was America's 131st mass shooting so far this year, according to gun violence archive. a nonprofit that tracks gun violence data. There has been 15 mass shootings at schools or universities in the US since the Columbian High School massacre in 1999, according to a database maintained by the Associated Press.
Visiting my sister-in-law. I have been lobbying in D.C. since we survived a mass shooting in July. I have met with over 130 lawmakers. How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them? Gun violence is the #1 killer of children and teens. It has overtaken cars. Assault weapons are contributing to the border crisis and fentanyl. We are arming cartels with our guns and our loose gun laws, and these shootings and these mass shootings will continue to happen until our lawmakers step up and pass gun safety legislation.